Gypsy's Curse. Brewed in a cauldron of bitter revenge and flavored with the venom of black rancor, is a Romany curse. Woe be to him who shall be its victim, for as with death, there can be no escape from its full measure. Greg Peters, featured star and famous screen lover, was making another picture, and his company was on location in an authentic gypsy camp for atmosphere.
Come on, Greg, put more into it. You got the most important leading lady our studio contracts in your arms.
Okay, let's get this over with. I'll be with you in a few minutes, baby. You just stand by.
I don't know if I enjoy watching you kiss that girl, Greg.
Greg Peters was whiling away his time, but the look in Lucia's eyes was deep and compelling. Somehow she managed to put him at a loss for words. It was like toying with fire.
You're quiet tonight, little one.
My thoughts are of the future, Greg. My father already starts the arrangements for our marriage. Yet you haven't spoken of it to me.
Marriage? What on earth put such an idea in your head?
Idea? Is love an idea to you? Have these weeks together been a game to you?
Now, don't spoil everything. Haven't you enjoyed our friendship too?
Friendship? You have defamed my heart.
So, you heard her. Well, ask me where your daughter got those notions of marriage.
I heard nothing. But Lucia will soon dry her tears and tell me what I should know, Peters.
Instinct warned Greg Peters he was dealing with a problem that could prove troublesome. Without further ado, he made a reasonable suggestion to Joe Wilson, friend and director of his latest film.
Let's get back to Hollywood, Joe. That little gypsy gal is getting in my hair.
Heartless beast. All that matters to Greg Peters is Greg Peters.
That very night, the cast and assistants started to assemble their equipment to leave the gypsy camp. But in spite of the activity, much was happening in the shadows.
Someone could get hurt before the night is over, and it's not going to be me. What a fool I am not to carry a gun around for protection. But this will do. Thank goodness no one's around to see me stealing from those gypsies.
Hold him in silence and bring him to my wagon.
Quiet, or your troublesome tongue will be slit for you.
You are going to learn much about gypsies, Greg.
You are held on trial for your actions towards a chieftain's daughter. No harm comes to you if you act as a man of honor. It's difficult to believe you do not choose to wed Lucia. And we would hear your reasons, Gringo.
Tell them to stop this foolishness, baby. You knew I never intended to marry you.
Stop! I have heard enough. I release you, and so will my people. But I curse you, Greg Peters. No woman who loves you shall avoid death, and you shall know endless misery in your heart.
Now will you untie me? Well, so long. Sorry we couldn't part as friends.
You will remember this night for the rest of your life, Peters.
Hope? How come you're not packing with the others?
I was looking for you, Greg. I must say, you sure spent enough time with those gypsies.
Look, sweetie, I've got a lot to do and no time to chit-chat with you.
Polite, aren't you?
Getting back to Hollywood was like returning to civilization. In no time, the picture was finished and tranquility settled over Greg Peters' life. The gypsy's curse seemed a thing of the forgotten past.
Wilson, what's next on our program? Make it good now.
Greg, I'd like to see you marry Hope Caldwell. That girl is madly in love with you.
I can't stand the girl, old man. Lucky for her, too, according to what that little gypsy told me. Now, what else can you think of?
What?
A silence charged with electricity settled over the trio as Hope Caldwell stepped into view. It was obvious that she had overheard Greg's denouncement. Her small face was white, and her voice shook when she spoke.
Wilson, would you mind taking a stroll? I'd like to speak with Greg privately.
Certainly, my dear. How charming you look today. Well, excuse me, you two.
I was just joking. Hope you know I'm crazy about you.
Tell me more, Greg. You're such a naughty boy, Greg. I wish I didn't love you so.
That's better. For a minute, I thought you were really angry.
I'll love you till I die, Greg. Or until you do.
That will be a full-time job. I have intentions of being around a long time.
But I changed your plans, didn't I, darling?
Hope! You stabbed me! Help! Wilson! Help me!
What happened? Hope, what's wrong?
I killed him. He's all yours now, friend.
But Hope Caldwell was wrong. Greg escaped death by a small margin, thanks to the quick thinking of his friend, producer Joe Wilson, who promptly telephoned for an ambulance. Then, later...
Have the police got her?
If you press charges, Greg, that last picture will have to be junked. It will cost us all a fortune in money and bad publicity.
I guess you're right, Wilson. I'll have to forget it. That little devil.
Forget her. You'll soon be out of here, too. I arranged for you to have the best care.
Hello. Are you part of the cure? I feel better already.
Mr. Wilson hired me, Mr. Peters. My name is Mary Dell. Oh, come on now. You've got to get well. I'm the boss here.
I don't want to get better if it will take you away.
Love came quickly to Greg Peters. The warmth of it filled his mind and healed his wounded body. For many days had passed he could no longer keep it a secret.
Before you go today, I've got to tell you, Mary, I'm desperately, completely in love with you. What have you to say about it?
I knew. Go to sleep, dear.
When Greg was dismissed from the hospital, he took Mary with him. Not once did the gypsy curse cross his happy mind.
Married so soon, Greg?
Of course. Why wait? I couldn't love you more and you love me. Now, where are you off to? You know I hate to have you out of my sight.
I've got to pick up some dressings at the drugstore for your back, darling.
Mary soon returned and she clutched a newspaper in her trembling hands. Strange that Greg didn't recall the curse then.
I guess my big dream is just a laugh after all.
What are you talking about, Mary? What's wrong? Tell me.
You read it. Hope Caldwell to wed Greg Peters. And why not? What would he have in common with a nurse for the most beautiful actress of filmland at his beck and call?
You know that's a blasted lie. She'd do anything to hurt me. We're going to her place right now. I want you to hear what I have to say to her.
Oh, Greg. I hope it is a lie.
I want to prove that I love you, Mary, and this is a good way to do so.
This is so unpleasant. Why did it have to happen to us?
Hope was entertaining guests, but she invited her visitors into a more private room. Her eyes were mocking in spite of her feigned surprise at the newspaper report.
But you know I never loved you. Tell that to Mary. I want her to hear it from you.
Why, Greg, darling, what a temper you're in today. Am I to blame for a rumour about us?
Greg didn't even look at the weapon he clutched, for rage seethed within him, blotting out all judgment.
Greg, don't!
You she-devil. I'll kill you.
Don't!
Mary. Mary, speak to me. What have I done? Mary. Mary.
He stabbed her. I saw it. He was lunging at Hope, and that girl jumped between them. He didn't mean to kill her. He was going to kill Hope.
Mary, darling. I love you so.
Hello, police.
It isn't so easy to live with a dead heart. Is it, Greg Peters?
Lucia. The curse. The gypsy curse. It came true. I killed my love, and now I will never know peace again.
Greg was led off to prison to suffer an endless torture. Time would eventually blot out the memory of the girl he loved and killed, but to what avail? For he would never escape the penalty of the Gypsy's curse. The end.